Good early morning to you guys. So we are going up to North Carolina today to take a look at some mulch equipment, some colorizing units. But it's going to be a rainy trip north today because Hurricane Debbie is upon us. So not sure how this is going to go, but if you want to, you can come along with us. Mark should be here in a minute. We're going to jump in the truck. Brandon just showed up. Let's go see what we can see.
At about 320 yards an hour, so it takes us about 15 to 17,000 gallons of water a day. It can be done with way less. We're not pulling the fines out just because we have to have the volume, you know what I mean? And I've got the water. So, and if assuming anybody here goes forward with a machine, they told us, because we were in a bind today, so 3-inch water inlet. So that's why we've got the gravity of the 10,000 gallons pushing through the machine to keep enough water to the pump to keep it fed. We keep the tanks up here, 2 on deck. Sometimes we'll tie the 2 of them together, that way we don't have to stop. But right now we're just kind of 1 or 2 at a time. It pulls so much volume, you got to keep the gravity. It helps to keep the gravity up instead of just setting the tote on the ground.
Gotcha.
So water and dye are the 2 things that we're after. And we can open it up in a minute, but the accessibility of the pump and the dye is right here. Pump, color it pump. If it's freezing or you're running in the water, that's your water dump right there.
Okay.
It's that easy. You're free in minutes.
Chris, how long have you had this machine?
A year and 2 months.
Okay.
Year and 3 months. Less than a year and a half.
Okay. Right.
1 man, 1 program.
Okay.
We can.
Hey, can we eat some of those mushrooms in a little while growing down there? See what happens.
You can look in there, but it's got a spray bar. The length of it.
Yeah.
My Mr. nozzles are stopped up. So what I did was I just took out the first 5 nozzles. You get the same thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's no different than a spray bar or one of yours getting flow.
Right.
There's literally what 6, 8 grease fittings on it, 4 on the feeder belt, 4 on the back, and 2 right here. That's it. Right. And we just cup these out. We take the cups off because I don't think they disperse evenly. So it is what it is. But maintenance is nothing. Fuel consumption is nothing. What, 4 to 6 an hour?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. 4 to 6 an hour. A tank of 2.5 gallons of DEF about every 2 days, 2.5 days. Okay. So you know what I mean, your energy cost is essentially, it's nothing.
Right.
What about y'all's cleanup, you know, as far as stuff coming out from under the machine? Like this, I mean, how long is this?
Probably 3 weeks worth.
Oh.
It's next, we get a little bit of spillage here, but I mean, a skid steer for 10 minutes, I mean, it's, compared to what you're doing, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But we'll bounce around to the computer and get them to start feeding it.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Safety first.
Yeah. Trying to get our boss took out.
The first 10 minutes, I'll be down.
You see it the other side, so just right at that point there, where that hood lifts up.
Yep.
That's where the auger is.
Okay. Chris, what do you call this place right here? What's the name of this, your business here?
Greensboro Mulch.
Greensboro Mulch. Wow.
Yeah.
What time's the rain supposed to move in on us?
It'll be late today.
Okay. That thing's moving so slow right now.
Like 6 to 7 miles an hour.
Yeah. North of Columbia, we finally got out of it, but it was just pouring at the house this morning.
Let it finish purging.
The DEF. Gotta love DEF.
We spent so much money on it the year before last, it's almost.
Same.
Yeah. And the only, so we run 13 John Deere wheel loaders.
Yeah.
The only one that we rebuilt the engine on was the first one that had DEF on.
Yep.
At 13,000 hours, the rest of them, several of them 20,000 hours or plus.
Right. Yep, same experience.
So before we crank this thing,
Yeah.
it's simple. The DEF tank's there. The 4 valves. This one activates the drum, the rear conveyor, this one the auger, and this one is the feed hopper.
Okay.
So we get all 3 of them going before we, then we activate the auger and the color pump and the water at the same time.
All right.
And it'll be loud. So when we crank this thing up and we get to it, it has an on option, an off option, and a automatic option. The automatic is like if you have to pull off and go load a truck. When it runs empty, there's a sensor at the top front. So what that is, it just shuts the water and the.
Oh.
So then you can come back, start feeding. As soon as it senses wood, it starts to chunk it back in.
Okay, so you don't waste the color.
So right here is just the engine features or whatever, and then we can switch over to, we'll switch over to the edge side. So all the weights are already programmed in here. So black, but we're gonna run brown.
You don't have purple? We can't run some purple mulch today, Chris?
Our market's not quite there yet. So now that we're ready, we had black in there, so I'm just gonna prime it for a minute to get the color through it, to get us to brown. That's simple for a couple of minutes. So right here, our weight is, we calculate how many yards, take our yardage, obviously, divided by 3 or 4, or whatever you're putting on it, and it converts the pounds per minute. So for us to run it like almost 4 pounds is, I think, 24 gallons a minute. So we'll just dial it down.
How much are we running, Brandon? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't know the numbers on the new
3.5? Okay.
And it'll also give us our water in gallons per minute, which is people that are buying water, it's more, you know what I mean? That's more of a, it takes what it takes here.
Yeah.
So are we ready to fire up? So it's automatic idle, so we'll go to press button and then we'll get the 3 started and then we'll be ready to go.
Cool. Concrete pad down there in that stacker. That's nice. Guys, we're up here, as you heard Chris say, Greensboro Mulch. I just kind of jumped out of the truck and started filming, but we're up here looking at this Edge Colorizer. So it's a trommel screen that has the spray bars in it. This thing could triple or quadruple our colored mulch production back home, and so that's why we're up here to take a look at it today, learn about it, and see if it's some, a direction that we want to take. Brandon, would you say that's like quadruple what we could do, you reckon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a bunch of mulch coming off that belt, man. I love this radial stacker setup they've got. A nice concrete pad down here, the dividers in between your colors. This would be a game changer back home. How many yards per hour are you running right now, you reckon?
320.
320. And so Brandon was just telling me we're only at like 80 something back home right now.
And you're burning 4 times the fuel.
Yeah, burning a lot of fuel. Yeah. This is a sweet setup, dude.
You can take your little MC.
Yeah.
Put 2-inch grates in it.
Right.
Regrind your pallets and all that stuff. Just
Right.
let it sit. Let it sit. When it comes time to color,
Yeah. Dump it right in.
it is.
Now, how are you getting away with the fines in the final product though versus weight? That's what would kill us. So we're running ours through an edge trommel just to get out the fines before we color.
We used to do that.
Yeah.
Our stuff's not so heavy. We'll look at the raw fiber.
Okay.
It's that's what they were talking about. By the time I do all that, I would pull. At one point in time, I probably had 30 or 40,000 yards pulled out, and then you got to load it. Then you got to move. Then
You got to do something with it, right?
So we're carrying 80 yards.
80 yards, okay. I guess with our feedstock though, we just got a lot more heavier fines than you do, unfortunately.
So that's why you see a lot of pallets.
So we just bought the Roto Shopper 75 shredder for the landfill and for our pallets. So I'm trying to figure out all the pieces now, how I want to, you know, work them in conjunction with each other. But this is simple right here, what you got, man. This is awesome. My hat's off to you, dude. It looks great. This is kick ass.
So this is getting fed 2 ways.
Okay.
I got a gauge on the top.
Yeah.
I can feed from 10,000 stock tanks, or I can feed from the pump from a pond.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. You was pumping from a pond or a creek? And see, water won't be an issue for us either because I got the sand plant right there. I'm pumping from a creek to a pond all the way up to the sand plant, and then from the sand plant to the mulch yard. So we got the water.
Love it. Around here, and I'll kick around here and make the red. So in the mornings when we start, we're in season.
Yeah.
There'll be trucks from everywhere lined all the way around the horseshoe.
Right.
Just start loading. So we're running.
Hustling. Now you just do the 3 colors, Chris: red, brown, and black. Okay.
It's not as too. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
too-
I agree. We do the same, but we are making 2 different color browns. But you know, people want
Problem
it.
is, if somebody orders a tractor trailer load and then they need another dump truck load, then they call the office and then they send light and then brown and somebody's got to
Right.
retrieve it.
Yeah.
We've done all that.
Been there, done that. Yeah, this is kick ass, dude.
So
That thing is throwing some mulch, dude.
So we can store 15,000 yards on the radius without touching it.
Nice. That's huge. And it's beautiful too, man. I mean, there's no bald spots. It just looks fantastic.
And we can actually turn it up.
Right, if you wanted to. Got some mulch going out.
So we load flat-footed. He'll load that truck in about 7 minutes.
Okay. 80 yards. Okay. Do y'all have scales here? Do you have to weigh? Just roll.
We know what they weigh.
Just roll with it. Yeah, I imagine you loaded enough trucks in your day. You know what the.
We've gotten 1 overweight ticket in probably 10 years.
Okay. Well, you can't argue with that. And you obviously love deer loaders. We blew
an engine up in one and we had it rebuilt in less than 5 days. Like crate engine.
Wow. Okay.
So all of our trucks have dump trailers too.
Okay.
So there's only a few walking floors running a day. Everybody else is in dump trailers.
Dump
all the
trailers.
same.
Okay. How's the sand business been?
It's,
You making just concrete sand? Is that correct? I can't remember.
we'll go to the other yard. If y'all have time, it's on the way out.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Most of it goes for horse arenas, septic tanks, and then we use it to make our soils.
Okay. Your soil blends. Gotcha. And what are you making soil blend wise? Doing top dress or?
A garden mix and
garden
then
mix?
topsoil that you would like lay sod or
Okay.
Grow grass in.
Yeah, I'd love to see that if we got time.
Yeah, we'll do that. And
Okay.
We'll actually make that arrangement here.
Okay, sweet, thank you.
And they'll be grinding hardwood bark there too.
Cool.
And maybe a screening sand.
All right.
So the reason that we can get ahead in the sand, the next closest place to haul sand is 100 miles from here.
Wow.
We can haul 4 loads or 5 in the time you get in one load of masonry sand.
Right. Now in this area, because you're river dredging, right?
Yep.
So in this area, I mean, is it just rock or there's just no sand, or what's the
Most
deal
of
there?
it comes from sandy like field crops.
Okay. Very cool, dude.
And then this is obviously just random feedstock.
Right.
We just push it, blend it, whatever.
And feed it in as you can.
So we'll just bring a grinder, one of the 2 grinders here, 80 footer. We'll grind it to here, or we'll put it stacked in the middle and grind it straight to the pad.
Okay.
So we're grinding that at like 400 yards an hour.
That's crazy. Now, what roto choppers do you have here? I didn't pay good attention. I saw one up there. Is that a
2 FP66.
2 FPs? Okay. All right.
So he made that pile of black right there on the right. He made that this morning, like hour and a half.
Damn.
I mean,
there's some mulch coming off that belt, dude. That's incredible.
It just sits on a concrete frame.
Uh-huh.
So we separate the truck, and he can be.
And then the trailer just
unload
goes
a truck
up.
in less than 10 minutes. Like disconnect everything.
Right. So this right here, guys, is their truck tipper. So as you heard Chris say, they'll disconnect the truck. That way you don't have to have a walking floor to bring a mulch. Disconnect the trailer, tip the mulch out. And that would be advantageous as to like when paper mills get full and not everybody's got a walking floor. They could bring in just a standard trailer and we could dump them out. Now real quick before I get in trouble over here and lose the group, this was one of Chris's first trommel screens. This one and that one, and kind of a neat bit of information. He said these were actually used to flavor tobacco up here before he converted them over to doing mulch. Kind of neat little bit of history there, because I didn't realize it, but I know North Carolina is famous for growing tobacco, and so he said we are like right smack dab in the middle of the tobacco fields here near Greensboro, North Carolina. All right, we gotta hurry up and go catch the group. We've been lucky with the weather so far today too, so Hurricane or Tropical Storm Debbie, whatever she is now, has been chasing us the whole way up here, but she's moving so slow till we're in rain all the way up to Columbia. As soon as we got through Columbia, South Carolina, the rain subsided, but it is headed up this way, so it should make for an interesting day tomorrow, which I'll video for you guys as well. Going to Mecklenburg County, take a look at some more equipment. I love field trips. Hey Brandon, I was just tricking about buying the edge. This is really, this is what we're here to look at right there. That's what I'm buying you.
We'll throw some blue paint on it.
Yeah, there you go. Put some stickers on it.
There you go.
What did he say? Did he say that was one of his first ones? I missed it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, screening pine bark.
Screening pine bark.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about this being advantageous, and I mean,
it makes sense.
yeah, hopefully it'll stay true in our area. We will have people with these kind of trailers that don't have the ability to dump them out. No problem. Disconnect your truck. We'll lift you right up.
Just having to run up to the sawmill, you know, because the mill is really the only place that's got one of those
Got
around
tippers,
us.
yeah.
I mean,
I think it's definitely worth looking into. Might be a game changer for us. That's the great thing about coming on these field trips, like I was talking about earlier. Just simple stuff like this can really be a game changer for our operation back home. What's the deal with the mailbox?
Ticket.
Ah,
Tickets.
okay. All right.
So they just every driver, the drivers dump themselves.
Okay. So they're responsible. They just disconnect, come over here, fire it up, dump themselves out.
Yep.
Gotcha.
We'll cruise around this way.
Yeah.
And then
I love it.
South Carolina, y'all not scared of the heat, are you?
Hell no. I wish it was a little more humid though.
Makes the watermelon
So
sweet.
it's only about 98% humidity, and I'm missing that 2%.
So usually here the bark is 70 feet in the air,
Right.
and on the same side. So there's a road that goes out that feeds that other stream.
Yep.
We're just not getting material.
But it'll start rolling in soon, you said, right?
We hope.
Yeah. What's your mix of hardwood bark to pine? Like up here, I mean, I'm looking into the woods. Y'all got looks like more hardwood than we do. Because we're majority pine, you know.
Lots of planted pines.
Okay.
Here.
Bark separator, you said, Chris?
We use it to make the run pine bark.
Okay.
It's more or less stationary.
I gotcha. And the FP is a how many horsepower machine? You know?
750.
750, okay. So this is gonna be like in between the MC and our B, I reckon?
Yeah, but the same frame as the B, just not as bulky.
I
not
gotcha.
as many horsepower.
Okay. Is this the same one we just bought, Brandon? The stacker? TS80?
That's it.
So this is the same way, kind of like the. So I was telling him, like around the helix, like in the mornings. I mean, the trucks are just wrapped all the way around, and then the same thing usually up here. But we're usually, like I said, we're low.
Yeah, well, and this is not peak season right now. I mean, don't it kind of fall off for y'all this time of year?
The retail, I mean, there's still some commercial stuff.
Yeah.
And then right here, we're just making 2 products on pines. That's what we need.
Okay, just
Do you
a.
run any 600 series screeners, or they're all 500 series?
Just the 5.
Gotcha.
You know, the footprint gets so big, and I'm only feeding them with smaller loaders. I mean, it would be fine. Like, we can slide under this when we get to the other yard. I can move them so fast.
That's a pretty product, but you're not obviously not coloring up here. This
Nope.
is just all natural.
This is a pine bark mulch you made right here, right?
Yep.
And then, so now, what is that nugget material? Is that what you call nuggets, or kind of in between?
Not really. We're after the fines, so we'll still sell this as a shredded mulch. So the nuggets are bouncing out of that one. So to make nuggets, you don't grind it first.
Yeah, I know that's what we're doing. We've got a warrior. Like, what do you use your warrior for that?
Yep. We don't have any feed to feed it.
I found some raw materials. So it didn't have any big chunk wood or any, so we just run it through our 622 and just screen the pines off of it. And we don't make a mini and a large. We went away from that. We just make a pine nugget. You know,
Yep.
It's got some mini and some large in it.
Yep.
And but we've got a warrior. We don't hardly ever use it for nothing. We were running some pine through it, but I found a different source on raw nugget material from a mill.
Speed is.
It don't have any like sticks or cants or anything in it, so
Yep.
you can just blaze through it and run it. I mean, I'll put that 622 on like 70-75% in feed speed. It just cranks it out. Oh yeah.
Let it roll.
Yeah.
That's a pretty product right there, though.
You're screening this to get your pine material.
I wish we had this back home, boy. We could sell this. That's pretty. Ooh, that's pretty too. So this is the smaller after it's been screened. You can see they got the edge trommel over here. This is the 516 series, feeding a 65-foot track stacker. You can see the difference in the 2 products right there, but that is really pretty. Okay, y'all, so we moved up the road still with Chris and Greensboro Mulch. This is another location they got just a few miles away. Across the street, I don't know how well you can see it, but they've got their retail yard where they sell all their mulch on a retail platform. And I'm assuming this mulch is taken right across the street and sold at their retail yard, or probably loaded on trailers as well. We'll find out here in just a second. Chris, I kind of missed it, so tell me just about what we're doing here on this site real quick.
We're just right here. We're just double grinding hardwood bark.
Okay.
And
across the street's your retail.
Yep.
Okay.
And then this is where we screen sand. And
sand. This is your sand coming out of the river?
Yep, and we'll walk back there.
Okay, all right.
So this is our
soil blend.
This is like a garden mix. So when we usually start our season, where that track hoe is, over to the woods, all the way to here, is how much we have prepared. And some of that back there is more, this is the freshly made, but we'll walk back there.
Green fill or topsoil or what do y'all make?
So we dredge a river up in Virginia, and you may have saw him leaving. So we got a handful of trucks hauling in the sand, and he's just screening that. And we'll use it multiple things, and then that's the screen sand that we use to put in our soils.
Keeping things covered up out here like your soils or not?
It's
you got no sand there.
Or we use this old trommel screen here just for our topsoil. We know it's going to rain 8 inches, so we sold it off. That's actually the bioretention mix. So the native topsoil, we only screen that when we know the weather's going to be permissible.
What's the name of that?
Buds and Blooms.
Oh, I buy a ton of shit from them. From my garden center. Yeah. That's it right
Buds
there?
Full of shit, yeah.
No way. I love Buds and Bloom.
Yeah, the largest.
That's cool.
So he's getting ready to fire up here if we got 2 minutes.
Yeah. I got all the time in the world, Bubba.
But that's it, more.
Yeah, nice chunky.
Got a lot of pine bark in it.
Yeah.
So we like I said.
Add that back in to make your mix.
No, this is it, ready to go.
Okay, yeah.
Now, will Buds and Blooms, are they
They take just the pine bark.
just
like
pine
you saw
bark?
earlier.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yep.
The smaller. Yeah, for drainage.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then we, like I said, that's just dredge sand. It's totally different kind of sand than what you've got.
Yeah.
It's grainy.
Uh-huh. Let's take a look at this. Is the sand that Chris and them are dredging out of the river. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Good. Me and my son watch you on YouTube all the time.
Hey, awesome, man. I
Nice to
appreciate
meet you.
that. Well, now you're gonna be on there.
That's right.
What was your name again?
Tyler.
Tyler.
Son's Tucker.
Awesome. Tyler
Yeah, we
Tucker.
watch you all the time. Watch the slide.
Okay.
Watched all of it.
Awesome, man. I appreciate
he
that.
sits there and watches it for hours.
Well, that's fantastic. We appreciate it, dude.
You're gonna show him how to run a real sand operation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Show us how to do it.
I get it fired up, walk over here, and we'll cut this corner off and get ready for the rain.
Oh, he's coming.
So-
We drove through it the whole way up here, so
Yeah.
it's on the
It's
way.
coming. It's
All
nice
right.
to meet you.
You too, man.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Yeah, that's some nice chunky sand there. You know, both of my deposits are river deposits. Now they're ancient, but they are alluvial sand deposits. So the river put them there. But you're in a good spot, man. I'm jealous because you don't have to go chasing the sand. You just wait on you got a big rain coming. That's probably gonna.
We're at capacity. We're at about 8,000 tons.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
We only screened a ½ inch.
Okay.
We don't have to go any smaller
Right.
for what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I am jealous of Chris and his river dredging operation because, like we just said, with this big huge rain that's coming right now, the sand just comes to him. It just feeds itself. Whereas when we're out, we're out. Might have to look into some river dredging.
The top makes it easier to clean out. I'm only after the bottom anyway. You're gonna see there's next to nothing coming out of it.
Right.
So ½ inch, and that's all we need for what we do.
Just ½ inch on top.
Yep.
Let's walk around here and see our buddy Tyler up at the John Deere 200. He's feeding the Terex, I believe it was a Terex screen on the other side, screening the sand down. Chris said they're just running this through a ½ inch screen because they don't have any, they're not doing it for concrete sand, they're just doing this strictly for their soil blends. Walk it on up there, Tyler. walk around here, see what's coming out of it. Damn, I think I see some seashells. This is fresh water, so I guess this is some clam shells. I've never seen that coming out of the end feed there before. That's kind of cool. A lot of sticks, as you can imagine, that would be floating down the river. I wish we had time to go see the river dredging operation, but unfortunately we don't. Got it, buddy. Somebody done hit one into the river. That would be me if I was playing golf around here. I got the little T-Rex double deck screen, 1/2 inch, although they're just using one screen as we said. Feeding onto another edge. This looks like another 65 stacker, and there's going to be the screen final product that they're using to put in with their soil blends. So just like at home, we're using our sand blend to mix in with our compost to make top dressing, and we also add sand to our nursery mix too, just to help with the drainage, add a little bit of weight to it. Sand, major component in growing mixes. What we got over here?
Compost.
Okay, love some compost. Nice.
He said it was leaf base with pine fines.
Okay, cool.
Well, this is it, fellas. I'm about out of tricks.
Yeah. Mine is a bioretention mix.
Bioretention? Okay, that's what I was about to ask.
Different.
Majority sand, what, like a 70-30 or something?
Sand, soil, and this has got bark in it. It's got
Bark too?
fines in it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's bioretention mix. So it treats the stormwater. Are you doing a ton of that down there?
They've it's more sand now than it is the blend anymore. We just bid a job, it was like a 80-20. It was actually, had leaf compost, and the guy called me on it with the spec, and he said it was in Charlotte. It was outside of Charlotte-Mecklenburg. But most of Charlotte-Mecklenburg stuff is just C33 sand.
If you put too much acid in it and it's going to a drinking water supply, they'll shut it down.
A lot of that stuff floats and everything too, the organics you put into it. At one time we were making it, and we still advertise for it, but we don't see a lot of it.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot in the bioretention mix. We did a couple smaller jobs, but nothing crazy.
You get your hands on the sand. It's sand and transportation is the cost.
Kind of sand city down, well, about 45 minutes from where we are,
Pageland. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now, where are you making your compost at? You do it here on site, or are you
that
just
screen that was at the shop folded up? It was just home for service, but it'll come back whenever we.
Okay.
And we won't really pick that up until the next couple months.
Right.
We're just now starting to haul the raw material in.
Okay. Cool, dude.
But no, we'll maybe grab beer or something later, or dinner, whatever they.
You had me at beer, man.
I hear you.